Hello friends, this is Pandy of YouTube channel Shrewd Reviews with another Heroes of the Storm Hero League cast. This is, where am I? This is me, Rehgar, playing the solo support on this team. I'm chilling out in base. No reason to do anything. Nothing's happened yet. The countdown's still going. I am with two friends of mine, Scott, Lizzie, and Fracture. They're playing Vala and Azmodan, respectively. We've got Kael'thas and Sonya that we just picked up randomly in the draft, so it's a group of three in Heroes League. I believe I was rank 22 at the time that this was going on, and you can see that 4 out of the 5 of us are stacking in mid because we're all going to rush this watchtower. That's, for some reason, ingrained in the cultural consciousness, though, on this map. You have to rush for the watchtower. I'm not saying that's a good idea. That's just what winds up happening. We grab it first, we get there first, and the fight breaks out. So, as Rehgar, my job is going to be to cast Lightning Shield on folks that are in the middle of the fight, and heal those that are getting low. Now, I cast Lightning Shield on Kael'thas, which is just an awful idea. Later on, let's just watch this team fight take place, actually. That was a great move in by Sonya, who ends up dying anyway, so it's 1 for 1 for either team. But we wind up chasing the rest of them away. Because we got the vision first, we managed to see inside the bushes so they can't catch up on us. I'm asking Vala to go bot. Azmodan is the solo laner, right? He has so much HP that he can solo lane safely, and he wants to push, but on this map, Azmodan wants to be in the middle or top lane so he can roam back and forth and get all the kills he can with his Q, with that dunk, so that he can get the stacks as quickly as possible. There's a big fight over the middle chest. We managed to grab most of the coins, but then I wind up dying and respawn right away. So you can see, even though we've got 3 kills, they've got 2, we're a little bit ahead on experience. That makes sense. Blackheart has now spawned. Sonya is spotting through the bushes here, making sure that none of the enemy team tries to come in. Nazeebo has been by himself in the bottom this entire time pushing, which is an excellent idea, but manages to overextend. He gets caught out and escapes safely. So, what I mean by Azmodan getting stacks is this. When he picks this talent right here, enemies killed by the Globe of Annihilation, that includes minions, they get, they contribute 2 damage for the rest of the globes of annihilation that he gets for the rest of the game. So every time he kills a minion, or anyone, he gets plus 2 damage to that ability for the rest of the entire game. They're going for the turn in. I want to come in here and spot it. So basically what I'm trying to say is Azmodan wants to stay in top or middle, because he'll be able to get stacks more quickly that way, because he doesn't have global range on his Q, but it's pretty close to. It's a lot of range. I went to the middle there to spot to see if they were trying to turn in. I distracted them for a little bit. They chased me and they didn't manage to kill me because Ghost Wolf is OP. So we're going here to kill this quick camp just to get coins. And my job for this game is going to be to keep everybody alive. That's basically the role of a support. Let's check out the talents that I picked up so far. We've got Healing Totem and Feral Heart. Feral Heart at level 4 is pretty standard. The more time you spend in Ghost Wolf, the better. The thing that I'm really trying to work on in this game that I've noticed in the past is a failing of mine, is that when you're in Ghost Wolf, the first auto attack that you do when you pop out of Ghost Wolf does increase damage. And what I noticed from watching replays of myself is that when I pop out of Ghost Wolf, I tend to do it to cast a heal or to cast Lightning Storm or Lightning Shield on somebody. But that's a waste of extra damage on... this is a terrible example of that. But that's a waste of extra damage with that Ghost Wolf. So when you pop out, what you want to do is auto attack somebody, especially a squishy or somebody who's low health, and then go and cast the spells that you want to do. That's not always possible, because you might be really, you might need to throw down a clutch heal as fast as you can. But in a best case scenario, you're auto-attacking somebody from Ghost Wolf and then casting your spells from there. There's another fight going out in mid right now. So you can see that because of Azmodan, we're pushing pretty hard in middle. They tend to overextend a little bit on bottom. We managed to match up with some pretty talented players here, Kael'thas and Sonya. I'll be honest with you, I wasn't really thrilled to see Sonya get, I think that was the last pick. I believe in the draft Sonya was the last pick. I wasn't thrilled. I watched a streamer lately who said something to the effect of, anytime you want to pick Sonya, Murky is a better choice, which I was ecstatic to see because I love Murky. Playing Murky is so much fun. Anyway, so I wasn't exactly psyched to see Zonia, but we'll see how that turns out a little bit later on. Already you can see we're a tiny bit ahead on experience, and that gives us a slight level advantage. I picked, for my first talent, as you know, Healing Totem. And Healing Totem, as of a couple of patches ago, prior to the official release of the game, Healing Totem is now affectable. Like, you can hurt it, you can kill it with area of effect attacks, which used to be not the case. You had to specifically attack it with auto attacks. Ooh, we managed to get the first turn in there. That's spectacular. You had to specifically hit it with auto attacks, which made it kind of difficult and annoying to try and get rid of. Now it can be hurt by area of effect, so it's a weaker choice, but I decided to go for it because I'm a solo support. What you'll notice, the first couple of times I threw down Healing Totem, I saw the Tychus was targeting it with his grenade, which is an excellent idea. Ooh, but there goes Kael'thas. So, I was, I think, the second last pick or third last pick or something on my team, and I knew that I was going to go support because when you go in draft mode, you're probably aware, you can select in advance what you want to be playing. So everybody else had already selected that they wanted a tank or a DPS or something, so I knew I was going to be support. Surprise, surprise. I actually love playing support in this game. Scott Lizzie, Vala, preparing for the ambush, goes in. And the reason that I went with Vala after Malfurion had already been chosen, as opposed to maybe a more popular pick like Uther or Brightwing, is because on this map I really feel like Rehgar has a lot to offer. Rehgar is amazing at killing the chests that drop coins as quickly as possible. What you do is, when you approach the chest in Ghost Wolf form, you auto-attack it, and then you immediately cast Lightning Shield on yourself. And then you can be auto-attacking and Lightning Shielding, and you may be aware of this. The chest takes 1 damage for every attack that hits it, no matter how much damage that attack normally does. So the fact that you've got Lightning Shield continually circling around doing 1 damage, 1 damage, 1 damage, and you're auto-attacking at the same time, means Rehgar can take out that chest really quickly, and then if it's contested, if there's another enemy there, or if there's an enemy there at all, you can pop into Ghost Wolf and quickly grab the 3 coins that drop right at the end when the chest is completely killed. So he's spectacular at grabbing those chests. Oh, Fracture winds up going down. They were all stacked in mid. He was 1v4. Let's really get back to the game here. So the 2 of us on top here are pushing. Kael'thas is doing a great job of pushing. We managed to get level 10 first, which means we've got our heroic abilities before the enemy team. They've just got it, but we're still a level ahead. Getting a level ahead means we've got raw stat bonuses, but now that both teams have heroic abilities, the game is kind of evened out a little bit. We're both 5 kills to 5 kills. The enemy team currently has cannonballs shooting at us. And what you can see here is I'm trying to dive in, especially because Malfurion doesn't offer a lot of resistance when it comes to, you know, burst damage or anything. I'm not super afraid of him. I dove in, I did Lightning Shield on myself, just trying to body block him a little bit. I'm going to run down south here. We can see sort of where the enemy team is. And I notice there looks like there's going to be a team fight going on in bottom, so I'm running down here as quickly as I can. Ghost Wolf is fantastic because it lets you mount instantly, but the overall speed is, I believe, 20% less. There we go. My ultimate going down on Sonya there. You'll notice that's a theme in this game. Anyway, Ghost Wolf is not quite as quick as other mounts. It's actually a lower speed, but you can do it very quickly. So I'm picking up these coins here. We lost a couple, they lost a couple. That was overall kind of an even match. Let's look at the coins overall. The enemy team is holding far more coins than we are, but we've turned in 7 out of 0. So overall, we're actually ahead in coins. Now, Johanna's going to go turn in, and we're too busy on bottom here to do anything about it. I'm actually running up, and Kael'thas is running up to try and stop this, but she's too quick. She's turned in 9. Good thing that does not mean they get another turn in at this point. I was debating going top or mid, but because I wasn't sure if the whole team was about to stack here, the rest of them were pretty much invisible to us. I'm going to try to turn in these 3. Let's see what goes on. Pulling back before the turn-in is done because I see the other 2 approaching. I know they're going to interrupt me. We've got 4 in the turn-in location now, which is kind of funny because we don't actually have enough to turn in, but we notice the team fight going on, and we want to take the team fight because we believe that our team fight is better than theirs. And as it turns out, we're getting kind of lowered, but once again, there goes the Ancestral Spirit on Sonya. If Sonya gets chunked down and then we manage to alter, it's like the enemy team has wasted all of their abilities that they spent getting her experience down that low. Now, there's a big risk when it comes to playing Rehgar that you use your R, you use your heroic ability too late, and because there's a slight delay. When you cast it on somebody, it doesn't immediately heal them for quite a bit. It's the best single target heal in the game, by the way. It doesn't immediately heal them. You actually, there's a short delay and they start to glow green. And then that was a good zoning cue there from the Kael'thas. They start to glow green, and then, you know, a second later or so, they actually get the heal. That Zebo was trying to juke, but there were just too many of us. So what frequently happens, especially if you're a less experienced Rehgar player, I'm not saying I'm the most experienced, but if you're a less experienced Rehgar player, you cast your R on somebody a little bit too late, and so you've wasted the cooldown and they don't get the heal because they get burst down too quickly. So what I've been trying to focus on lately, there's a lot of positive talk that goes on in this game, this is excellent. What I've been trying to focus on lately is casting your heroic as Rehgar before you think it's necessary. Coming in to the rescue here, just gonna chase this Johanna away. Johanna, lots of CC, super tanky, but almost no damage, so she's not a real threat unless there's a team fight going on. We want to go, we're pinging this, we want to go dive in. Anyway, the whole idea is cast the heroic with Rehgar before you think it's necessary, so that you guaranteed get that on, especially if the target's currently being focused. If the target that you want to heal is currently being focused, you want to cast that R when they're at like half HP, which seems like a waste. If you healed them when they're at half HP, you've wasted a significant amount of that healing. But if they're currently being focused, then chances are when the heal actually goes off, they're going to be much, much lower until you've gotten the full value out. That was a poor attempt from Thrall there, and Thrall getting focused down by Azmodan, manages to run away though using his Wind Fury. Oh, and Thrall gets captured. Fracture, no! Captured by the zombie wall. Meanwhile, we're guarding mid, we're turning in coins. Sonya's got 8, that's amazing. While we're doing this, let's check out some more talents here. So as Rehgar, I've gotten Healing Totem, as I mentioned. Feral Heart is just the go-to talent at that level. It gives you more regen when you're in Ghost Wolf form. Earth Shield is another go-to talent, especially when you're the solo support. It gives the person an actual shield buffer, like almost bonus HP, when you cast Lightning Shield on them, because otherwise it just circles around them and does damage in a short area. So that actually gives them a shield. It can block some damage. Ancestral Healing, of course. I don't know what I've been calling it this entire time. Spirit Healing? Anyway, Ancestral Healing. And then Healing Surge. So Healing Surge, because I'm the solo support and because there are a lot of team fights happening, that increases the healing and increases the number of targets that are healed. So that's the go-to talent if you're the solo healer. This Kael'thas is pretty ham. Like, he winds up being really far ahead and sometimes solo in this game, which in usual games, in typical games, that's not the best idea for Kael'thas. But it winds up working out for him. Maybe he's got excellent map awareness and he knows where the enemy team is, so he knows when he can extend. So that's an excellent tip. This is, I gotta say, just watching this guy, we were lucky to match up with him. He's an experienced Kael'thas player. Look at that stun and the placement of the Q. He's by himself right now. He's 2v1ing. And he manages to chase Tychus and Johanna away, even though he's low mana and half HP. This is a great Kael'thas player, I must say. Meanwhile, 3 of them are pushing mid. I managed to distract them as much as I can, and I escape, so I don't wind up getting killed. Vala got killed, however. It happens. Now, I knew they were going for the turn-in, so I just wanted a view of them. And I knew that Sonya in this game had a habit of diving in when the odds were not in favor of her, but I Ancestral Healing her. Is that the right one? And the rest of the team, or most of the team anyway, joins up. Kael'thas comes in from bot. That's excellent from him. This is excellent. So he's running down here, and I shield him up, throw down the totem so that he can't be caught, so he can escape more easily. So even escape more easily. Over the wall, I managed to affect that fight and keep Kael'thas from getting killed. The chase is on. Do as much healing as I can. I picked up the talent that gives, when you cast Lightning Shield on an ally, you also cast it on yourself. So because whenever you cast Lightning Shield, you get an actual shield, that gives me a shield as well as somebody else, so we can stop a whole bunch of damage there. We backed up, but unfortunately Asmodan just doesn't have any escapes. So he wound up getting killed there, and then the Nazeebo dragged his corpse around. That's a super bummer, Nazeebo. You're just an awful person. I grabbed this chest all by myself, as I explained earlier. Rehgar is great at soloing those chests. And then Nazeebo maybe thought his team was behind him. Johanna was behind him, but 1 support and 1 0 damage tank means you don't have the best backup. The heal on Sonya again, you know what, in the early game I just noticed that the Sonya loves to go ham, loves to jump in, especially when outnumbered, so I just made a mental note that Sonya is the one to save Ancestral Spirit for. There you go, and it totally pays off. Like I said earlier, I heard that anytime you want to play Sonya, pick Murky instead, but this Sonya player wound up being great. She's really effective, she dives in, and to be fair, a lot of her effectiveness might be because she's got an amazing and super handsome support player in Rehgar backing her up. She probably wouldn't have been quite as effective, but this is a great Sonya player, you know? She knows what she can handle, she trusts her team, and then sometimes it's not a great idea to trust your team if you're just randomly matched up with them. But in this case, it worked out. So I'm turning in 7 coins down here. That's going to almost get us the turn in. There's a lot going on top. We're going to grab more coins. Everybody wanted to go for boss at this point. I realized since we only need 2 more coins and I spotted a couple of the enemies over there, I was pretty certain at this point that it was safe for me to just quickly go grab these 2 more coins, turn in solo, while the rest of our team was going for Golem. I knew that the enemy team figured we were going to be going for Golem. It's really dangerous as the support to not be with your team because you can let them just get chunked down and killed if you're not there with them to back them up. Because the enemy team was really slow in engaging, I figured it was safe to just real quick grab those 2 coins as fast as possible and then turn them in. And that let us get the Golem pushing and Blackheart shooting cannonballs at the same time. Now a team fight breaks out, it's not the best team fight for us, we're not set up for it, but we've got objectives pushing, and Asmodan manages to back out at that point. So now at this point we're all grouped together, we've split the enemy team, we're taking them on kind of a little bit at a time while the rest of us are grouped up, and we realize now is the time to disengage. There's no reason to engage at this point, we've got 2 objectives doing work for us, why fight? We can back up, we just managed to hit 20 right now, so now we're thinking now's a good time to engage. And there goes Sonya, getting the really quick kill on Malfurion. Excellent to knock out their support as quick as possible, and she dives in with her level 20 enhancement there, blocking off the Thrall. He can't escape. It's just like Jarvan in League of Legends. There's a solid dunk. I was chasing the Nazeebo there, knowing that he was low health, so I could probably do something against him, and then the dunk from Asmodan finished him off. So that was... I'll be honest with you, in voice communications, in Skype, we did not plan that out. I just chased the Nazeebo because I was pretty sure I could solo him, and turned out great. Asmodan backed me up. That was excellent. So that's another time when it's a great idea to just keep in mind what your passive does. You can pop into Ghost Wolf, and when you pop out of Ghost Wolf, you can get that extra auto attack. So every 3 seconds or so, pop into Ghost Wolf. Even if you're chasing somebody and you pop immediately out just to attack them, that's extra damage. That increases your overall damage per second. Now we're pinging down here. We want to go help out the Sonya. We managed to get yet another turn in. Things are going fantastic for us in this game. They've got 2 down still. So we know that we're safe to turn in. We know that we're safe to get this camp. We had minions here and mercenaries pushing for us. We can see them all because the mercenaries just died, so we knew where the enemy was. And we knew that since we are a stack of more enemy, we have more people than they do, we can team fight here, no problem. So we're going to dive in Johanna in front. That's an excellent idea, but there's just too many of us, you know? And that Sonya manages to trap her and kill her. So we take them out one at a time, just focusing targets down. And healing again with Ancestral Spirit. I'm trying to stay as close as I can. It's a great idea in most situations. I don't know what Thrall was thinking here. In most situations, as the support, you want to stay in the back, cast your spells, especially cast your heals. But when you overwhelm the enemy, you've got more numbers than they do. You can see they're down to, pardon me, 1 person. They just have Malfurion. You can dive in, and Rehgar is great at sticking to people. So much of a push is happening here. We've got minions and we've got mercenaries. All 5 of us are alive, all 5 of us are there, and they just had Malfurion. The rest of the team was taken out in that ill-advised team fight. So We managed to take the push, knock them out. As I was saying, Rehgar is great at sticking to a target that you're trying to focus down, especially if it looks like they're going to have a difficult time escaping and they don't have a lot of backup. Let's... I don't know what Sonya meant there. I'm a top. That's great. Are you like a dreidel, Sonya? Let's quickly check out the talent build once more. Right after we talked about Ancestral Healing, we got the extra surge. We talked about that. Lightning Bond, I mentioned that as well. You cast Lightning Shield on an ally that you cast it on. And then Storm Shield. It didn't wind up being necessary in this game. The enemy team never hit 20. But Storm Shield casts a shield for 20% of their max health on every ally that's nearby you. So I figured, if we were on the off chance going to get burst or something, I could try and dissuade that, or at least negate that in some way. Quickly looking at the stats here, Sonya did a fantastic job. XP contribution, we've got Kael'thas on top. It was lucky that my 3-stack managed to match up with this Kael'thas and this Sonya. They did a spectacular job. It's not always the case. I played some quick matches right after this game where karma kind of balanced itself out. We got matched up with some folks who were maybe not so skilled, but especially not so good mannered. I think one of the really important things about this game is that you establish a positive relationship with your team as quickly as you can by supporting them, backing them up, and then positive reinforcement. Let's see. Siege damage Kael'thas, hero damage Kael'thas. That was a great Kael'thas. Healing. I managed to out-heal Malfurion. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for tuning in. Please like, comment, subscribe. I would love it if you did any or all of those. You're all very beautiful people. Thanks so much.